Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Wayne Morris with WHHI-TV.
And I'm your host, Carrie Smoot Manning with the Village Spa.
And today is a special treat. The whole panel, a new partner for 843 TV, is Spring Island. And we are going to be here 12 times over the next 12 months, and that's lucky for us.
Yes.
This place is amazing. And we have three very special guests today that are going to kind of introduce Spring Island to our viewers and tell everybody about all the things they have here, which are many.
Are amazing.
Our first guest is Johnny Ussery. Johnny is the founder and owner of Gateway Realty, and in his segment he's going to tell us about how the partnership formed with Gateway and Spring Island to offer homes and home sites for sale.
And our second guest is Mr. Jim Chafin. He is the visionary of this incredible property. He actually handpicked this land, which if you get a glimpse of it, you'll know why. So he gives us all a little bit of background and history of how this all got started, and it's a really, truly amazing place.
It is. It's a little history lesson, so be sure to make sure you catch his segment. And our last guest is Mr. John Strother. He is the broker in charge for Spring Island Realty, and John is going to tell us about some unbelievable home sites they have, the architecture of all the different homes, and just all the uniqueness that's in this community, and some really surprising
There are some surprising price points.
Yeah.
That's what I said, it gives me hope.
So very unique, very special episode of 843 TV. Be sure to come back for 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where the town of Hilton Head Island comes to speak. Where Port Royal comes to speak.
.843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We are here this morning with Johnny Ussery. He is the managing partner at Gateway Realty. How are you this morning?
Doing great, thank you.
So tell everybody, just share with everybody why the members at Spring Island picked you at Gateway Realty.
Well, we're honored to be selected to do the marketing and sales for Spring. Gateway's been around since, I guess, around early 2001, 2002. And we have offices at the entrance of Colleton River, Belfair, Berkeley Hall, Oldfield, and now Spring Island. So
All the miners.
That's right. So I think the members of the board were pleased with the results we'd gotten at those communities, and they asked us to come in and take over the sales and marketing here.
And what a coup for your company to have a place like this under your belt. I mean, this place is amazing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Glad to be a part of it.
Johnny, you've been involved in real estate development sales for over 35 years in some pretty special places. You know, what do you think makes Spring Island especially unique?
Well, you're asking the question. You know it better than anybody, Jim. And we're in for a treat today because in a little while, Jim is the visionary and developer of Spring Island going back to the early 1990s. And you created this beautiful place, Jim.
Well, actually, Mother Nature did the work. Our job was to screw it up as little as possible.
Well, you did a great job with it. But what makes it special, it's really interesting because when we were first asked to come in to take over the sales and marketing, I shared with the board that I would like to come to Spring as if I had never been here before and spend a night or two and immerse myself into all the activities that are offered here. So Tom Jackson, myself, our wives, Kristen Lee, our marketing director, her husband, we came and spent 2 days here. And it was incredible as far as all the activities and things that are offered at Spring. First of all, it's 5,000 acres. There's only 400 property owners here. So it's kind of like you have your own private plantation, if you will. And we got up that morning. The first thing I think we did, we went out for fly fishing. And then from there, we went to the sporting clays. And from there, some of the folks went to the art barn where they had a demonstration in art. And then some other folks I think we had my wife really enjoyed the massage in the afternoon. And then they took us on a tour. We went to the garden. And Jim, how special is that? They talk about, farm to market. This is farm to home. I mean, folks out there picking their own tomatoes and cucumbers and beans and corn. and it's organically grown locally.
And then walking their horse across the street. As I came in, I'm like, why are we stopping? And all these beautiful horses went across the street.
It's incredible.
It is.
So it's just a very special place. And the Low Country, as you know, Jim, is blessed with a lot of really special communities. And Spring is just very, very unique. I think one is due to the location. It is an island, very low density. I think you have one of the largest contiguous live oak forests in the entire Southeast. It's just a very special place, not to mention the architectural diversity. And it's very, very special.
Yeah, we travel all over the Low Country for this show, and we've been to all the big plantations and communities, and they're all great.
Yes.
But this one is definitely, there's something different because it's just so unique.
Everything's tucked away. That's
Yeah.
what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it still has all these great amenities that the other ones do too.
It does. And I tell people, there's a reason Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors.
That's right. Something for everybody.
Well, Johnny, I know why it's a great time to buy at Spring, but why would you say it's a great time for somebody to get involved here?
Wow, what a great question, John. You know, I've been doing this, my wife and I came to Hilton Head in '77 on our honeymoon. We moved here in 1980, and 4 children and 7 grandchildren later, we're still here. There's some opportunities out there right now, John, that we've never seen in our lifetime in the real estate business. It's like somebody rolled the prices back 15 to 20 years. So it's just incredible opportunities for the buyers. Not the best time if you're on the selling side, but if you're on the buying side, I mean, you've won the lottery. You've got great values, you've got great selection of homes and home sites, and interest rates that are incredibly low. So I tell folks, hey, you know, if this doesn't fit you, buy something somewhere. Because 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, you're going to be having cocktails on your back deck, and friends are going to be over here, and they're going to say, what did you buy this for back in 2014? Oh my gosh, you stole it. So it's a great time to buy. Timing's perfect.
Yeah, great points. And what specific advice would you have for somebody that was looking to buy within this community?
First of all, just come take a look at it. Wayne, again, I've been here since 1980. And I came over to Spring when Jim was developing it in the early 90s. I don't think I've been back to Spring in 10 or 15 years. It's incredible how it's a gem. It's a well-kept, hidden, tucked away gem that few people know about. So part of our job and our marketing is to educate folks, to let them know that Spring Island exists and come take a look. There's a great overnight visitation program that John can share with folks later on. Go to the website, springisland.com. Come over for a morning, come over for an afternoon, come over for lunch, and just check it out. It may be for you, may not, but my advice would be you really owe it to yourself to at least check it out.
Yeah, it's worth seeing. Even if, like you said, if you don't buy here, you owe it to yourself. If you call yourself a Low Country resident, to see this place.
Exactly.
If you're looking for your own little slice of heaven of the Low Country, though, I think you guys pretty much covered that in its entirety.
Well, thank you.
It's beautiful in here.
And again, we're just fortunate to be a part now of the sales and marketing. It's going to be a great fall. I mean, we've got incredible response of folks that are coming in town this fall. And I tell folks, look, if you do have an interest, come now before everything gets picked over.
Right.
Because there's some great opportunities right now.
Good.
All right, well, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank
Make
you.
sure that you check out their website at springisland.com, and make sure you come right back for more 843 TV.
Welcome back to 843 TV. We are now joined by Mr. Jim Chafin, and Jim is the developer and the visionary for where we sit today. And I can tell you, good job. You did well.
Well, thanks. As I've said often, Mother Nature and the good Lord did the work. Our job was to mess it up as little as possible.
That's right. That's a good motto. So how did this come to be, and what inspired you about this piece of land to do what you've done here?
Well, my partner, Jim Light, and I were familiar with the Low Country. We started our careers back in the late 60s with a visionary man named Charles Frazier at Sea Pines Plantation, and we're with him for 10 years on Hilton Head and Amelia Island, Kiowa Island, etc. And then took our families to Colorado, where we were involved in the evolution of a wonderful mountain village called Snowmass near Aspen. We got a phone call from a banker and lawyer telling us that their client Eastern European had decided to go back to Europe and wanted to sell Kalawasi Island. So in 1985, we got our toes back in the pluff mud, so to speak, and returned to the Low Country. And we're developing, as we were developing, Kalawasi Island became aware of Spring Island, which is the neighbor. And a group had a contract on Spring Island and zoning for 5,500 units. They were trying to get a bridge approved from the mainland and were having trouble and sought an easement through Kalawasi Island. We felt that 5,500 units not only would make a dramatic negative impact on traffic through Kalawasi, but that it really was too much development for Spring Island.
Right.
So when they did not get a bridge or an easement from us, the property became available again, and we met with the family, the Walker family, and their advisors, and put it under contract. So that's really how we came to buy Spring Island. We chose it because of its absolute mystical, intoxicating natural beauty, and the fact that it had been under single ownership since 1706, unlike a lot of other islands that we know in the Low Country that got divided up between owners and families. This had had single ownership and stewardship since 1706. And so it was a natural blank canvas to begin our work on. And a little known thing is that Spring Island has unusual elevation. Most of the sea islands that we talk about have an average elevation of 6 or 7 feet above sea level, and Spring Island averages 18 feet above sea level. So it was all of those natural attributes that drew us to it. So we were inspired by that, and also by a new focus on environmentalism. The Roper organization and Pew Trust had done psychometric studies that showed that the market was becoming more and more aware. They thought of themselves, a higher and higher percentage of Americans thought of themselves as environmentally sensitive. And so the question, and could we evolve a human settlement within a nature park? Could we do something that was subordinate to the nature and make the nature a major reason for people to come here?
Well, driving through, it's obvious that you did that very well.
Thanks.
Jim, for someone looking to purchase in the Low Country, why would you tell them to look at Spring?
Well, the natural beauty, yes. It's intoxicating. It's very special. Facilities, amenities, yes, world class. But the real reason for people to look at Spring Island is that sense of community. When we do our market research, and now when the members do their market research every 24 months or so, and ask what people love most about it, it's not just the nature. It's humbling for us. It isn't the architecture or the master plan or the golf course. Year after year after year, it's the friends they make.
Wow.
It is the friends they make and the sense of community and belonging here.
I think sense of community is a huge, humongous attribute for people who are uprooting their lives from where they've grown up, where they've worked their entire life, to move and then be empty nesters, and then to not have a sense of community. They feel like they may have made the wrong decision. So to move down here and get the best of everything, the world-class amenities, amazing nature, and to have a sense of community, I think you guys really topped it off.
And this sense of connectedness is important to people, and they just rank that every year as the #1 reason that they like living here.
You guys pretty much covered it all. Here, you did it incredibly well.
What kind of closing comments do you have, Jim?
we talked about this connection between nature. You know, E.O. Wilson wrote a definitive work called the biophilia hypothesis that shows that we're genetically connected to nature and that we physiologically respond to nature. And so part of that goal was to put this human settlement in a connection with the nature that's here.
Well, y'all did a great job on it. You really did.
Well, thank you for being with us. We really appreciate your insight and you telling us how you came to put this all together. You've done a fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. And stay with us. We have one more segment of 843 TV.
Welcome back to 843 TV. We're now here with Mr. John Struthers. He is the sales director for Spring Island. We've pretty much covered all of the reasons why you should, like you need any more, looking at our backdrop, but tell everybody why now's a great time to buy.
Well, it's a fantastic time. You know, Spring Island, the same as every other community in this area, has gone through some challenges over the past years. Inventory here is unique. There's a lot of variety available. And it's just a wonderful time for people to come and look and get involved at just a fantastic time. They'll look back at this time thinking, you know, this was it.
And don't miss it.
Don't miss it. That's pretty much it.
John, the property owners here at Spring are really passionate about their community. What is it do you feel they really love about Spring?
Well, you know, that's a, you know, you could say, well, it's community, different things like that. And Jim alluded to this. It's the connectivity that they have, the connectivity to the land itself, to the social aspect of this community. I mean, it really and truly is. We have 260 homes here, probably 220 of those homes. Those people live here 9 months or longer. And the members tell me that once you move here, you have to learn how to say no. You can't do every social thing here. We have art talks, we have so many wonderful things going on here over and above what just generally goes into other planned communities. We're not as structured. I mean, there are dirt roads here, the lots are bigger, there's so much nature, we have the trust. You know, it just goes on and on. It's just one of the most amazing places I've ever been in. And I think it's just fantastic.
I guess when you got 13 miles of shoreline, I think they got like, how many ponds? And it's 13?
Well, it's 39 ponds. They've got 32 miles of trails in through here.
Wow.
You can go down to the stables, you get on a horse and start riding. That's one of the things that I enjoyed most about this. You're riding through this contiguous oak forest, these just majestic trees, and then all of a sudden you pop out, you're on the marsh. It's like an African savanna. It's just amazing. And you come back, the sense of community there at the barn is incredible. You can go down to the farm, Waterfall Farm, you know, need tomatoes, go down there and get basil, tomatoes. Well, we don't have the mozzarella cheese yet.
Sure, we can find some.
Yeah,
They're thinking about getting some chickens and having their own eggs.
Yeah, they are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're even thinking about goats. So you can do so many different things in here, so many different things that you really can't do in other communities. Really, the only limit's your imagination, and the people here have so much imagination. This draws such a special crowd.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it is not only that sense of nature, but the sense of community as well. And often when you're in a natural environment, that means a little bit of a lack of community. So it sounds like a unique combination that you're observing.
It is. It's a totally unique combination.
And what are some of the special properties that are available now that you want to mention?
Well, you know, one of the things I love about this place, and I guess you came up with this, the lots are all large. You know, they're an acre to up to 20 acres. But so many people first came here, they'd build little cottages and figure out how they wanted to involve. You know, it's a family compound. So they would come here, they'd spend time in a little cottage, and then they would they'd build the main house, or they'd build a garage or an artist studio. We have a property at Rice Gate that's just an incredible property. A lot of people think of us as a traditional Southern architecture place, but this is a modern
There's a lot of diversity in here.
The diversity is
It doesn't look like a
incredible.
cookie cutter, oh, all the houses are painted the same color and all the shutters are the same color. I didn't grow up here, so that's weird to me to see all of that. I just love you can really make it true to you. I mean, they're very distinct individual properties. And when you're driving down the road, they're not right on the road, so they're really private.
You can't see them. They're nature curtains shielding different properties. There'll be sometimes 5 structures on one property. Little houses, big houses, all bringing nature inside. Every home's designed by an architect. Every home is individual to each individual here. It's just the most amazing thing. It's not a
It's very unique.
It is so unique.
And there are homes for sale within the gates, right?
Right. We have homes for sale here that range in price from small cottages at $350,000 to large waterfront homes that'll be $3 million.
And if somebody wanted to build their own family compound, like you mentioned, I assume there are home sites as well?
Yes, we have some fantastic home sites. Golf lots, it would start at maybe around $50,000. Up to $1 million lots, but we've got one of my favorite home sites is over here on the Shrimp Pond. It's a 2-acre marsh lot. It's got beautiful live oaks all in the corners, placed perfectly. It's facing southwest, so you're catching all the summer breezes coming in. It's just a winding drive coming in. You could have a great house or compound there. And then right next to it is a 10 or 15 acre shrimp pond that is teeming with redfish, flounder. It's like a seafood market right next to it. I've never seen
You don't
anything
have
like
to leave.
it.
If you can fish, you can catch your dinner.
What's the price of that home site, John?
That's $249.
On the marsh?
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Do
Amazing.
you have any deep water sites?
Yes, we have. I was showing this lot the other day. It's just gorgeous. It's almost 5 acres. It's on Ibis Lane, on the marshes, deep water dock. Seconds away from the Colleton River, some of the best fishing that you're ever going to find. This dock has 8 to 10 feet of water at low tide, and you could situate just a ton of homes there, and that's $595
For a deep water home
for
site?
a deep water
Wow.
home site.
Wow.
Okay, so now that everyone watching wants to come and check out Spring Island, do they need to call and make an appointment with you?
Yes, call, make an appointment. They can come, tell at the guard gate they want to come here. The guard gate will come, we'll let them in, and guard gate will call, and then
What's the number?
987-2200.
987-2200.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for having us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank y'all.
And thank you for watching. Join us next week for more 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.